Welcome back to Horden Adventures. I'm Heidi, and this is my husband Matt and our adventure dog Teddy. This channel shares with you our journey of full-time adventure in our 4x4 Sprinter camper van, exploring our home country of New Zealand for now, including all the highlights and realities of taking the road less travelled. In this episode, we are taking a few days to explore from Riverton through to Orepuki, down the Southern Scenic Route in Southland. We find some epic camp spots, dog-friendly places to explore, and we get a rude awakening at 4 a.m. in a remote spot on the coast. And of course, we are bringing you along for the adventure. Good morning. It is a very random Monday morning. We have had a weekend hanging out with friends, and we've been at motorsport, and actually I can't remember what else we've been doing, but picking up the camera this morning because we're going to take you on a random couple of days, and that is the theme of life at the moment, in between me doing photography work and us just catching up with people while we're in Southland and going to random events that we've got in our calendar. Life is really random, and lately, actually this whole year we've been getting asked, like, where are you heading to next? What's the plan? When are you going to go overseas? All the questions, and I feel like I'm getting to the point where I almost need to have a sign that just says, I don't know. Which is wild because honestly we don't know what we're doing from day to day. Maybe not so much for Matt, but for me, I always have a plan. Like, I am like the person that has like a 5-year plan, a 12-month plan, and have my week pretty much color-coded in my calendar. We have a bit of routine, but it looks so different now, and it's quite wild to think that I'm in the space of saying, like, I don't know anymore.
Top down, hear the sound of the breeze carrying us away. Dust in the rear view, free as a bird. This is our time, no matter what they say. Every mile behind only brought us here. Now the road is clear. Shotgun ride on my Friday night. Sunset fire burning in our eyes. Let's leave the past in the past and deal with it another day.
I wonder when all that happened, whether it was during those winds or whether it was just
Been like that for a while.
massive high tide.
Because you must be used to being able to like come down here and drive all right round the bay.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
Nope.
Can't you feel this is real? You and me, nothing in our way.
So we were trying to come down that road, but it's now closed.
Take the back road, let's make a great escape. 'Cause this life moves fast and we can't stop time. So put your hand in mine. Shotgun ride on my Friday night. Sunset fire burning in our eyes. Let's leave the past in the past. Deal with it another day. All we got is this open road. No plans, just a cranked up radio. Ain't promising forever. Ain't no end inside. Girl, I'm loving the ride.
There's a pretty cool view out the window. It's $1 million view. Except it's actually free because this is a Freedom camping spot.
I've got to come around here to get my toasty pie maker because it's vanished into the boot.
What are you grumbling about?
Hey, you don't let me keep my toasty pie maker in the kitchen.
Well, I would, but I don't like that I have to move it every time I want to get the kettle out, so you need to rearrange that cupboard to make it fit.
That sounds like a round to it job. Took them all in.
While it might look like all exploring and fun van life adventures, the reality is, in amongst these few days we head out the southern coast, I had a heap of photo editing to get through. After a few hours of work in front of my laptop, it was time to get some fresh air and make the most of our park-up spot. But first, I had to wake up 2 sleepyheads. Really? I'm going to go for a walk along the beach because I have been editing all afternoon and it is so glorious looking out there. Hey. Come on. Need to go outside and enjoy it. This part takes forever, doesn't it, Teddy? And even though it looks so glorious out there, we're putting our jackets on because that wind's got a fair bit of bite to it. Alright, I think we're ready now, Teddy. Oh, wee man. Come on.
Top down, hear the sound of the breeze carrying us away. Dust in the rear view, free as a bird. This is our time, no matter what they say. Every mile behind only brought us here. Now the road is clear. Shotgun ride on my Friday night. Sunset fire burning in our eyes. Let's leave the past in the past and deal with it another day. All we got is this open road. No plans, just a cranked up radio. Ain't promising forever, ain't no end in sight. Girl, I'm loving the ride. Can't you feel this is real? You and me, nothing in our way.
It's much better than drinking seawater. Good job. Remember when we didn't like him drinking out of creeks and stuff?
Yeah.
He's a wild animal now, aren't you? Teddy, don't eat stuff, please. Oh, it's just saying there's so much erosion.
Yeah.
You know, it feels like it's been like that at every beach that we've visited down here lately.
Girl, I'm loving the ride. No matter where we're going, don't matter what we do, long as we got each other, just me and you. Shotgun ride on my Friday night. Sunset fire burning in our eyes. Let's leave the past in
walk?
This one?
We got back from our walk, and just as we're getting back to the van, we met a really nice couple that flagged us down. They knew Teddy's name because they watch our channel. So if you're watching, hi Andrew and Angela, thank you so much for stopping us and saying hi to us. It was really lovely to meet you and hear about your travels. They're actually probably maybe like the 4th or 5th people that have come up to us and said hi and recognised Teddy or recognised us from YouTube, which is pretty crazy. It's a weird feeling, a weird concept, but it's so cool to meet other people out on the road. Yeah,
doing similar things to us as well, which has been pretty cool, and getting some, you know, places to go and ideas of things to do, which has been quite helpful for us as well. Yeah,
just chatting with like-minded people, it's real cool, and we are loving it. So if you do see us out on about on your travels or we're passing through, please do say hi. It's pretty cool, and it's nice meeting other people on the road. But yeah, we are about to make tea. What are we having for tea?
Well, apparently I've got to cook you some steaks, so I need to
That's right.
figure that out in this wind. But yeah, we'll test the Cobb out and see how it goes in the wind, and we'll show you that later.
It's meant to be windproof, so but what we don't have is a table. That's something we still haven't actually got, an outside table yet.
So we're cooking it on the ground, but that's fine.
Yum, cannot wait. And I'm going to get some more editing done before the day is done. But that was really nice to get outside. It is so stunning here.
Just windy. So I've got a wee bit going on here. Got some potatoes in here. Gonna try making roast potatoes in the air fryer. Haven't done that yet. Some corn over here that I've just partially cooked, and I'm going to finish that on the Cobb grill with the steak. And a bit of a precarious power situation going on here. Kind of need to do something about that at some stage.
Yeah, it'd be really good if there was like a 240 volt plug over here.
Yeah, which we may have to look into doing, I think.
Oh man. Looks pretty good for the first time doing a steak on the Cobb.
Yeah, hopefully you haven't butchered it.
It's quite a beige tea, isn't it?
Yep.
But I'm excited about it. Are you done being grumpy at the person that pulled up beside us? What do you think of tea?
That was good, but the Cobb is not as good in the wind as they say it is. So
yeah, it says it's windproof.
yeah.
I mean, it doesn't blow the flame out, but it definitely seems like it loses heat.
Yeah. So yeah, all right, but
it was yum. It was very tender, but it was overcooked because it wasn't really hot enough.
Yeah, I couldn't get the heat into it to brown it properly, so therefore cook it for a bit longer, and then so you don't end up with nice medium rare.
If you have a Cobb, let us know your tips and tricks for it, please, because
whether the gas canister that we're using is not very good quality.
Yeah, like, do gas canisters matter? We just got a real cheap one from the warehouse. Or maybe it's just the wind. But yeah, we've cooked a couple things in it now, and I have kind of thought, oh, it doesn't get like roaring hot.
Not like the
So
not like our Weber does.
yeah. So if you have a Cobb grill, let us know your tips and tricks for it. Because we've only cooked like 3 things on it so far. The breakfast you cooked on it a while ago was really good.
But there was not much wind around.
Yeah, like, does wind really affect it? Or is there something that we need to learn about it? But that was delicious. Thank you.
Yeah, it was still nice. Just a little bit overcooked.
Yeah, and you're usually very good with steak. But it was nice.
Can't stop time, so put your hand in mine. Shotgun ride on my Friday night. Sunset fire burning in our eyes. Let's leave the past in the past. Deal with it another day. All we got is this open road.
We will catch you in the morning.
Morning, dude.
Good morning. We had a really lovely peaceful sleep here. The wind died down pretty late, and yeah, it was really lovely and peaceful listening to the sound of the ocean. And the sun is shining again this morning. Matt and Teddy are out for their morning walk. I am just making the bed, then I'm going to get the coffee pot on. What are we getting up to today?
Currently doing a bit of clean up from breakfast, and then we might pack up and go find a wee bushwalk to do.
Yeah.
Find another spot to stay for the night, and if we don't find any good spots, probably come back here.
Dust in the rear view, free as a bird. This is our time, no matter what they say. Every mile behind only brought us here. Now the road is clear.
We've actually done this walk before.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we did that
short
just
bit.
a little bit. That actually turns into like
The big walk.
the must go way off. It's cool, there's quite a bit of mining history and stuff to look at on the way.
And of course, dogs on leads.
Yep. Alright, teddy bear, let's go. Correct. It's funny, some dock signs are like spot on and others are like, usually they're overestimated, but sometimes it says it'll be 2 hours and it's more like 3, but not very often. Usually it says it'll be 2 hours and it only takes 1 hour. Can you imagine that they did this pretty much by hand? It is crazy the lengths that miners would go to.
Water races cut everywhere around here. Here's a good walk. Just follow along here with these water races. Don't envy the guys that had to carve these out with pickaxes. Definitely got it easy these days with excavating machinery. Yeah, good wee walk. If anyone is interested in doing it, just goes through a bit of an old gold mining section where the Chinese were, and yeah, it's nice and easy, just under an hour probably, taking your time, and yeah, just normal footwear, no dramas, pretty good.
$2.8k.
Yeah, happy with the walk.
Yeah, it's a nice walk.
It's part of the TRL track. Now back to the van for some lunch.
Don't ask me why he does it.
Every time we take his harness off after a decent walk, he likes to lick it. It makes no sense to us.
It's his little ritual.
Your wee feet cleaned. And he's off. Back to bed.
Yep. Which is why our bed is always full of grit. Just a wee update on... Don't mind, old mate.
Sorry.
Just a wee update on our power. So we are, I don't know what, midday, and we're at 91%. And Matt reckoned we were about low 70%, like 72 or something. This morning when we woke up, because we used like the inverter. I was working all day yesterday, and we used the air fryer last night, and yeah, it's already put in 20% just with the solar on the roof, because we haven't been using the portable solar blankets. We've used them probably a handful of times in the last couple of months, and we haven't actually even plugged into power since October, like shore power, to top up the batteries. So the solar on the roof has pretty much been, and like a bit of driving, has been keeping us well and truly topped up. So yeah, it's working out pretty good. Popular spot. It's a pretty iconic batch, or a pretty iconic postcard view for the Southern Scenic Route. I need to do some research. I'm not exactly sure. They must be like semi-precious. So we were just talking to a lovely couple that are local, and they were walking their dog, and Teddy was having a bit of a play with their wee puppy, and she was saying that usually this beach is not sandy like this. Usually it's covered in gemstones, like you wouldn't walk barefoot on this beach usually. So I wonder whether in the recent stormy weathers, whether all this sand is washed up and covered the gemstones, or whether it's like eroded and washed away the gemstones. But yeah, that does make sense now that I think about it, when I've looked at photos of Gemstone Beach. It's not sandy usually. You can certainly see why there is a no swimming sign at the entrance to this beach. It does not look inviting at all. Trying to get all the sand and leave it behind at the beach instead of bringing it in to the van. Gemstone Beach is a wild, rugged coastline famous for its colourful polished pebbles and semi-precious stones like garnet, jasper and sapphire. Best time to go is at low or mid-tide to see the most stones. Looks like that. And that's not what we saw today. Yeah, way more sand than usual.
Full on gravel.
Yeah. Not nice for walking on barefoot. But that was cool. Go have an adventure, and that is Teddy's third walk of the day, so I think you're tired, aren't you? Yeah. Just been for a wee bit of a tiki tour around Orepuki, and now we're just going into Monkey Island. So there's quite a few like well documented freedom camping spots around here. There's Monkey Island, we were at Cobb Bay Freedom Camping Reserve. Both of us have never been out to Monkey Island, so we're going to go out and have a wee bit of a look. But we were talking to the couple at Cobb Bay yesterday, and they said it was quite stinky at Monkey Island because there was a washed up dead whale. So yeah, we'll go have a wee look and see what it's like. But I know this is a very popular wee freedom camping site, and then we might go and have a look at Cozy Nook. We haven't been there either, so we're going to go have a look. That way, I'm guessing that's Monkey Island, or what they call Monkey Island. There's a wee walk platform, like stairs, and then a platform up there. It's pretty cool. I don't feel like I want to stay here now that I've had a whiff of that smell. It is quite offensive. And there's actually 2 toilet blocks, which is pretty cool. There's designated spaces, so like along that grassy area is for like tent camping, and then back there's like multi-purpose, and then this side is meant to be all camper vans. And I said this one was well documented, but it's not on Campermate, so could be a little bit of a hidden gem. Just asked me what way do you want the door to open out, and I said out there, as we were parked that way. I was like, that's a nice view to walk out to. And then he started turning the van around. I'm like, what are you doing? And then he looked behind and said, oh yeah, the door's on that side.
My door's on this side, that's right.
I haven't even really started work for the day, and you're ready for a nap.
I am.
Alright, now begins the game of... Oh look, we're at 100% battery. Of figuring out how to get nice and level. This is why this app is so good. Because I don't have to get up to figure it out. It's pretty good side to side, but it's low on the back. Oh, wait. Not bad. Slightly high in the front.
Oh, that's nothing.
I might have to not put this in the video, Teddy, eh? This might have to be one of those hidden spots. So we found this cool spot. Don't know what it's called. Don't know how we got here. It's not advertised anywhere. But if you know, you know.
Just enjoying the evening on these big rocks.
Hey.
Hey.
Wedged in between those rocks.
Oi, Poppy.
Hey.
Good at mountain climbing, not good at rock climbing. They do. it's 20 past 4 in the morning and it just decided to get windy and Heidi didn't like it anymore. So now we have to shift the van.
Yeah, the forecast said the wind was meant to be northerly and it's not, it's westerly. And it just hit. And it's coming completely side on. How much difference it makes just parking into it rather than side on. Like, obviously that makes a difference, but it blows my mind how much of a difference it makes. I guess when you're side on to the wind, you're a 7 metre long, 3 metre high wind sail, but just nosing into it makes so much difference. What's happening, teddy bear? It's alright, we're gonna go back to bed. Good morning. We had an epic sleep in after that very early morning wake up, which was needed. Matt and Teddy are off for a walk. Oh, they're all the way around the bay. It is a beautiful day. I am really wanting a shower, so I'm just gonna have a look at the water level. We're at 50%, and we're reasonably level actually, so that will be pretty accurate. This one here, just ignore that. We can empty it and it says 0, and then like 5 minutes later it says 100%. We just need to pull the sender that has the like gauge on it out, just because it's in the wastewater tank. Like, it must get covered in filth, so that one is never accurate, but we kind of know. So at the moment we have just over 80 litres of fresh water capacity, and we have 110 litres of grey water. So, and thinking that some of that water, obviously, like, we're drinking some of the fresh water, some of it is going into the toilet cassette, so like 80 something litres is never going to fill up the 110 litres of grey water. So we know that the grey water is never going to be like over full. Where I was going with that is our stuff from Australia is on its way. It's sitting in Sydney, and I just had to fill out like customs forms for it yesterday, so that's really exciting. It means that our stuff to go on the back doors is going to be here probably before Christmas, which is really cool, and that means that we can get to work on adding some more water underslung under the van, because 80 litres is not enough. We're only getting like 2 or 3 days. But what is going to happen with that grey water is it is going to probably need to be more accurate, because if we have like 180, 190 litres worth of fresh water on board and only 110 grey water, you can see the problem there. We are very excited about the stuff that is coming from Australia for the back. It's going to look so good and be so functional. Things like our grey water hose and our freshwater hose like can sit in the box in the back instead of having to go into the van. It's just going to increase our storage capacity that little bit more to make things even a little bit more usable. Probably likely we will be heading out of the Southern Scenic Route, so a lot of people would probably do the Southern Scenic Route, like start at the Tuatapere end and then go round Riverton and then maybe like tie that in with the Catlins, continue on round past like Fort Rose. We're just doing this little wee bit because we've just had a few days up our sleeve, and we started at the Riverton end and we'll probably head out that way. It's been really cool because neither of us can really remember coming to a lot of these places. Yeah, it's been really cool, but yeah, that's our few days coming to an end.
And we're off again.
It has been a pretty cool spot, but that wind is not letting up, and I don't know if you can tell, but There's a lot of sea spray on, Wolf. You're gonna need a wash.
So we're back from our weekend out by the coast, and Wolf has just constantly been ridden hard and put away wet, so time for a bit of a birthday, give him a bit of a clean up, and yeah, that'll end his week off nicely. Where are we going, team?
For the vets.
Oh
Gotta
no.
go get your kennel cough vaccine. Okay? And we might try and find some treats.
Yeah, because some nice person bought you some treats online, Teddy bear.
Yeah. Go get you some nice treats. Well, thank you to Romy the Husky on our Buy Me a Coffee or Buy Teddy a Treat page for getting Teddy some treats. We picked him out some liver treats, and he just had one from the vet because he's just been in for his kennel cough vaccine, and he took one of those quite happily from the vet, didn't you? So we got you some of those.
Bit of liquid up the nose.
Hey? But thank you so much for keeping Teddy stocked up on the treats.